What's up everyone? In this video I'm going to talk about the Vivo Y95's camera settings. Now actually I didn't think that I would be making a video about the camera settings of this Vivo Y95, but still it got me a little surprised as the image quality and the professional mode that they have given is really amazing for this budget price phone. So that's why I'm making this video. Now in this video you'll see all the settings that's available on the Vivo Y95's camera. Okay, so let's begin with the video then. So the first thing you want to focus is the settings over here. As you can see, there is 4:3 aspect ratio, 19:9 aspect ratio, there is the 16:9 and 1:1. Now when to use these options? Let's say you are capturing pictures for your mobile only for your viewing pleasure. Let's say you want to capture some garden images, some flowers, then you want to keep it as a wallpaper. Then I would suggest you use the 19:9 aspect ratio. That way it covers entire frame, and right away this you can actually keep it as a wallpaper. Now you don't have to crop, you don't have to zoom or do anything as such. So that's when you use the 19:9 aspect ratio. The third option here is the 16:9 aspect ratio. Now this can be used if you are viewing it on your PC, computer monitor, or say if you are using it on your other phones which actually support 16:9 display. So that's when this works, but still you will get more resolution pictures while you are capturing with 16:9 aspect ratio. Now 1:1, like I always say, if you are taking pictures for your Instagram or social networking site, then I would recommend you use the 1:1 aspect ratio, so that instantly, just as you take picture, you can instantly share this image right away by tapping here share. So this is very quick, and this is why you use the 1:1 aspect ratio. In all other circumstances, always use the 4:3 aspect ratio. That way you get the full 13 megapixel of goodness. Yeah, that's the setting, the first thing here. The second one is timer. Now 3 seconds, 10 seconds, I don't have to explain, I guess. So the third one is again touch, voice, palm. So if you use the touch, it takes touch to focus. That's how it changes the exposure and then clicks a picture for you, so that you don't have to press on the shutter button. Let's say I have multiple subjects over here and I want to focus on this leaf. As you can see, if I just tap on that, it focuses there and then clicks a picture. So this is a very handy feature. So that's how you can use the touch, voice, or even palm. So if you don't want to touch the mobile itself, you can use the voice command. So as it is saying that, say cheese, boom, there you go. As I said cheese, it clicks a picture. So these are kind of things that you can use depending on the situation. And here's the time watermark, model watermark. Unfortunately you cannot edit the watermark, but you have to just stick with the timestamp or the model watermark. So model watermark, how it basically works is, just as I take a picture, you will see here shot on Vivo Y95, Vivo dual camera. So this is the watermark it gives. So if you want watermark, you can use that branding. There is the geographic location. If you want to know in future that you have taken this image in this particular location, then you can use these geographic locations. You need to on the location where it will be here in the control center. So just swipe like this and turn on this location, so that it tags the location whenever you are taking a picture. The next one is framing lines. I always suggest you to enable this framing lines. Now when you enable that, as you can see, using this grid lines, you can actually take better pictures. How you can take better pictures? Just use this grid line as a reference line. Now as you are seeing, if I hold it this way, it is already crossed. So that reference line tells me that you are not holding the camera correctly. So that's why I can always change again and then click a picture. Now this is a professional like taking a picture. As you are seeing, the depth of field, be it the depth of field or be it the lines, everything is horizontal to the ground and looks more professional. So that's how you can use the framing lines. And the next one here is the AI portrait framing. As the name suggests, AI portrait, so it's meant for portrait. So let's say we have this minion as portrait here, and already it is recognizing as a subject, as you are seeing. So let it recognize and it adjusts based on the type of skin you have, type of color you have got. So it all focuses, and when you click a picture, very proper and very soft in terms of skin tone and other things. So that's how it uses artificial intelligence and takes a picture for you. So that's AI portrait framing. You can enable, you can disable. And the last one is AI scene identification, artificial intelligence scene identification. Let's see if this detects as a ball. So if I hold, it's not recognizing. Let's tap to focus, and I don't think it gives you suggestion about what the scene is, but anyways, just as I click a picture, it should actually boost the saturation a little bit and then give you some really nice looking images. So that's how you can use the AI scene detection. Let's see if it recognizes it as leaf. Nope, it doesn't suggest you. Maybe while taking picture it enhances. That's about it. So that's the AI scene identification. Alright, so that's how you change the settings right away from here. So that's the settings available right over here, and there is no separate camera settings inside the settings option inside this camera, inside the mobile. So there is only this setting option available. Previously there used to be a separate settings inside the settings. You would normally find it over here. If you go to settings, usually there used to be a camera over here. So now they have actually moved it to only this setting. So that's about it. That's why you cannot change the watermark, which is unfortunate thing. Now the next mode that we'll be looking at here is the portrait bokeh. As you can see, there is a dedicated portrait bokeh function, and you can change the aperture value. The lesser the number, the more background blur you get. The more the number, the more sharper it gets. So that's how you can actually keep it as a referring. As you will see now, I will tap to focus. I'll use tap to focus, and then as it is sharp, I can actually change the aperture and then click a picture. That way whatever is in the background is completely blurred. So let me move this camera lens a bit so that I can show you how much blur it does. So let's say I'm taking a picture of this one. So I use tap to focus. Now let's use this aperture mode. Now it is at f5.6. let's say f8. Okay, I take a picture at f8. Again use tap to focus. The focus is logged, then click a picture. Now the difference between this and f1.4, let's see how much background blur it gives. So again using tap to focus, let it focus on the eye, then click a picture. Now let's compare the images, shall we? So this is the portrait bokeh that I took with f1.4. Now as you are seeing guys, how much background blur is there? As you can see, the background is completely blurred and the image is really sharp, right? So if I move to the f8.0, as you can see, that much background blur is not prominent here, meaning the background is a little bit more focused than this particular image. So as you can see with the leaves as well, this is more blurred, this is less blurred, even the ball here. So this is how you can utilize the portrait bokeh. And say that you have taken with the portrait bokeh f1.4 and you are seeing a little bit of blur on the hairs here. So what you can do is just tap on the portrait bokeh. Again you can refocus and little bit increase the number from f1.4 to f2.8 and then tap on done. Now this is how you can utilize this really nice feature. As you can see, the top portion is now really sharp and tacked. So that's a neat feature that probably I think every Vivo mobile gets this feature. So if you use it properly, you are going to get really nice looking images. The next one is the HDR. Obviously you know what's HDR. I have made so many videos explaining this thing. So this is the live photo. So it takes a video in MP4 format. So let's click a picture. Now as you will see, press and hold to view the dynamic photo. Including the audio, it captures a couple of seconds video. So this is this is actually taken in JPEG format, but still when viewed on the Vivo mobile, so it gives live image just like this. So in certain situations you can actually use this. Say that you and your friends have the Vivo mobile and you can use this feature and enjoy. So this is basically it with the default mode. As you can see, you can use various filters to take some really nice looking images, soft looking images, as you are seeing how soft it gets as I use the filter. So it helps in certain situation as well. This is the mist filter that I applied. So these are the settings that's available on the default take photo mode. Now I'll be making separate video about the manual camera settings, so make sure you watch that video if you want to view the manual settings of this camera. So for this video, because it gets lengthy, so let's leave it to this much. In the next video I'm going to explain about the different modes including the professional mode. So hit that like button, share with your friends, and do watch that manual camera settings video. Alright.